I do. Y'all know how I do. I'm on that bullshit again.
Let me tell y'all a little story about me. In the boxing world, my name is Mr. IOTBA. The acronyms for IOTBA is
Mr. Undeniable. Hold up. Mr. These boys can't touch me.
Daisy if you do. Bet I ain't got shit to prove. Boo does go tooth, Lil Bruce, smile sharp enough to choose. Bang, bang, right through your cool. Walking like a rumor with a pulse. Lip curl sweeter than your cold. My eyes say try me and you freeze like salt. Got your huggle. You wanted that smoke, I'm the whole damn stack. Got your huggle. Step up, I'll clear the room. You're a daisy if you do. You're a daisy if you do.
R-U-L.
All laces in my hand, better back. Tongue sharp like a tag, hit a click, clack. You wanted that heat, now it's time to meet the sun. No shade, just black. Walk slow, silver in my lap. Halo, crooked heart attack. Say your piece, talk that trash. I turn every word to glass. Cut deep. Got your
Oh shit. It's your boy Mr. IOTBA. I'm touching down from that 2, 1, 4, and I'm on that bullshit again. I'm on that bullshit today, right? Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains.
Blue
Don't
curtain.
let me
Hold up.
escape.
Don't let me
The
escape.
walls close in.
The wall closing.
Shadows stretch along.
The shadow that's
Night wears a
long.
mask.
Night has
Where
no
dreams don't.
Hold up. But dreams
A
don't.
bird once sang.
A bird
Now
was.
silent in
Hold
the
up. It's
The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pains of
Hold up. The pains of
eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away.
look.
Every thread pulls tighter, leaving no space.
Shout out to everybody on here from that 214 to across the states, to across the pond. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. You and I rocking with your guy RFD, aka Ray from Dallas, and I say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I see how in the building, the beautiful Kayla, pretty kooky classic. Shout out to TC in the building. Shout out to the beautiful Akasha, every beautiful ladies and all the gentlemen that's in the building. Salute. And Clay say Ray and TC Key is the good guy that always sticks up for us when we're abused. I'm like, oh, okay, shout out to TC. Shout out to TC for holding it down. Salute to you, brother. Salute. You got the ultimate salute from me over here. What I want to say, before we do that, y'all, right? I love y'all so much, right? And you know, I've been on some other stuff these past couple of days, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I love y'all so much, I got to turn up for y'all real quick. Turn up.
I ain't never represent, baby. I ain't do no wrong. I can clean up good for you. Oh, I know right from wrong. Yes, I want to make it.
Yo, you gotta chill,
Man, y'all don't know how I've been waiting, you know, to get back and just talk my shiznicks, right? Because it's a lot going on, right? And we're gonna get to that in a minute, but you know, I had a big weekend, you know, like y'all know I've been so focused, you know, on this injustice and corruption that's going on, right? I stopped everything, right? Because this means something to me, and I mean that with everything in me. But man, yesterday after about a 6 to 8 month window, man, oh man. It was such a beautiful feeling getting back into that boxing world and seeing everybody and, you know, just being bomb rushed by everybody. That was a great feeling, just getting in that atmosphere again. And doing what I do as the media, as a boxing journalist, as a dude who's been putting in work for over 10 years in this boxing game and is well renowned and respected from the 214 across the states to across the pond, right? Salute. And man, I just wanted to bring y'all into this so I can show y'all what I really do. Shout out to Skin Row in the building. Salute. I want to bring y'all in to show y'all what I was doing before I got into this. So let me stop saying it like that, because this is what I do too. But what I was doing before I got into this. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that so y'all can get a glimpse. And y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all gonna see a lot more, right? A lot more behind the scenes and a lot of the stuff that be going on. But if y'all ain't seen it, just scroll up these articles, shorts, videos, y'all see everything. But before we get started, everybody, right, I want to give y'all a chance, right, to hit that like button, share this for me, because I need y'all to help me with them algorithms and names. Shout out to Free_Ricky_Bay in the building. Salute. So what we finna do is, we finna turn up where y'all like, share, and subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, if you new here, thank y'all so much. Shout out to Pretty Cookie.
Yeah. Hey, you did that, look at you go. Drop that down and now the whole room know. Big heart energy still in the show. You walk in and the whole place grows. Old school smile with a fresh new grin. Same sweet spot, let the chaos in. Cards on the table, you win again. Everybody turn when you step in. Hands up, look alive. You made the whole night ride. chest in the room gon' wild. You got that old school reckless style. Laugh like trouble, move like a spark. Leave a gold mark in the dark. They said maybe, you said watch. One clean move and you took the spot. Now the floor feels like your song. Whole crowd chanting all night long. Hands up, look alive. You made the whole night rise. They've been waiting on your name. Now it burns through the frame. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You did that, and everybody knows.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. But the Frank Memo, Unmasking, a hidden justice. Let's take this walk. Let's take this walk. Before we take this walk, I want to let everybody know this, right? I got turned on to this by my beautiful people who've been here. Kayla, she here. Shout out to Classic, and I seen Billy May Day, and shout out to Catherine in the building. Shout out to everybody, but big dog salute to Classic, right? Love her to death, right? Because, like I said, I got put on to this and did my own research, but I'm telling y'all, man, Classic, if y'all ever seen The Little Shop of Horror, I say, feed me, Seymour, feed me. And she giving me all the information that I need, and I appreciate it. Shout out to the beautiful hippie chick in the building, but the person who turned me on to this is one of the beautiful Kayla Jones, right? Like her and other people in my chat who was here first, who was so free, Ricky, right? I definitely appreciate everybody that's in the building, right? And I've been gone a couple of days, right? You know, when able to talk about this, right? So, you know, I had to get caught back up on this, right? You know, because it's messed up, right? So, my people, let's talk about it. Some cases don't fade away. Some cases refuse to stay buried. For years, people have debated what really happened, who knew what, and whether critical information was overlooked, ignored, or hidden from public view. Oh my. Then came the Frank Memo, a document that sparked intense discussion, raised difficult questions, and forced many to take another look at a case that they thought they understood. I'm gonna say this isn't a story about rumors. Excuse me, this isn't a story about blind accusations, right? This is a story about unanswered questions, ladies and gentlemen. And what happens when a document surfaces that challenges the narrative that these bullshit Delphi, Indiana cocksuckers, right? In the police department, I refuse to call them with a P. They the holies, right? The investigators, the attorneys, the experts, and the public will begin looking at the same evidence from completely different perspectives. What happened when trust in the system crackling like a motherfucker? So tonight, early in the morning, if it's the evening, wherever you at around the world in them, right? We finna go deep into the controversy surrounding the Frank Memo, the reactions it triggered, and the questions that continue to divide those following the case. Most people believed it exposed serious concerns. You got a mustard seed of pussycats, right? Believe it has been misunderstood, you fucking pussycats. But one thing is certain, the debate, it isn't over. Not on our time, ladies and gentlemen. As we go over this, examine the timeline, the claims, the responses, and the evidence available to the public, you will have the opportunity to decide for yourself, what do you believe? Because in cases like this, the truth matters. And if y'all know how I say truth, that's T-R-U-F, truth. Somebody put hashtag truth in the comments. T-R-U-F. Because the search for answers, it's never gonna stop. I want y'all to understand that. It's the kind of moment that, instantly grabs attention, right? The kind of moment that makes people stop and ask, hold up, wait a minute. What the fuck is going on here? Shout out to the beautiful moons over her hand. Shout out to the beautiful moons. Like, hold up, what the fuck is going on here? And that's what a lot of people follow in this case. See, because when I'm starting to learn to understand, the memo wasn't just another piece of paperwork. And I thank everybody for feeding me, like the little shop of horror. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me with this information to make me more knowledgeable about that. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Because what I'm seeing, it became a symbol of doubt and fucking uncertainty. A growing belief that there might be more to the story what the public originally understood from these cowards. Across discussions became people who had spent years following every development. We know that, right? Because the reason this matters is simple. To the entire public and to the people who got their elbow in it and ain't got no quit, trust is everything. When people trust a process, they accept the outcomes, right? When that trust begins to erode, every fucking decision that these punks from the Delphi Police Department did, question becomes becomes controversial. And we around the world is asking, what the fuck happened? Because see, now as I'm getting to understand this, what I learned, and still learning, the Frank Memo into a conversation that was already filled with uncertainty, ladies and gentlemen. The conversation, right, where emotions were high, skyrocketing. Right? And they played us. When the public who could see with 20/20 vision desperately wanted answers. And then what I found out what followed was a wave of debate unlike anything a lot of people have seen before. People argued that important questions needed to be answered who was on the right side. This whole cake motherfucker on the screen, right? Officer Horse shit. His bitch ass argued that conclusions were being drawn too quickly. You fucking pussycat. But it wasn't no quick. I'm saying it, and I'm glad I'm a part of this now, right? But what happened, Officer Pussycat, right? And the rest of them suckers there, right? They made the divide become bigger, as I'm understanding. But here's where I want to slow down and everybody to pay attention. This ain't about choosing no motherfucking side. Thank you, beautiful Catherine. It's about understanding why the document became so significant in the first motherfucking place. The Frank Memo. Why did it create the reaction it did? Why did it capture everybody's attention from where I'm at to around the world? And why do I see not only myself, a lot of other people still talking about it today? Know what that answer is? We want fucking justice. And we want these motherfuckers to answer to what the fuck they did. Huh? Like if you're a human being, we want clear answers. If you're a human being, we see the villains. And if you're a human being, you understand, right? We want clear heroes. We wanted simple fucking explanations. But what I know is real investigations are rarely simple. Real investigations, what I know, are messy. They complicated, frustrating as fuck. They are filled with a lot of contradictions, motherfuckers disagreeing, and unanswered questions. And that's what makes them so fucking difficult. Because see, what I know, the truth isn't always fucking obvious. Sometimes the truth takes years to fucking uncover. You see people spend decades searching for answers, for justice. And what I understand, right? Sometimes the biggest challenge isn't finding evidence. You know, see what I know now? Being in this world, the biggest challenge is figuring out what the evidence actually means. Shout out to the beautiful Helen Keller in the building. That's what I learned being in this community, my people. And that's when me finding and looking into this story, it became so powerful. Because the Frank Memo, it forced Officer Horseshit and the rest of his fucking dickheads to come with some action, because everybody around the world started looking closer. And what I found out, there was them 2 hours, it was out, right? Shout out to Luke in the building. Them 2 hours it was out. Oh, we recorded it. They recorded it. Huh? And that's why this discussion matter, and it mean everything. Not because Officer Horseshit provided easy answers, right? To fool us. Because we got to force and put the pressure to make these motherfuckers have some critical thinking. Because we need to remind these motherfuckers that facts fucking matter. The evidence fucking matters, Officer Horseshit. And the truth fucking matters, you piece of fucking turkey neck dick. And you know, as I'm getting into it, it just started to unfold, right? It continued to unfold. And took on the story of its own. Shout out to Cristal in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm telling y'all, I'm telling y'all like this real talk. I want y'all to understand this, right? Because listen, shout out to the beautiful Charlie in the building. I'm telling everybody in here, I miss anybody. I don't want to miss no beautiful cat. But I don't miss nobody. Right? This case fucked me up. Right? Shout out to the beautiful Ocean Behave in the building. It fucked me up, and I'm gonna tell y'all why it fucked me up. Cause it was like being on a fucking roller coaster, and I ain't even touched the mustard seed of this shit. Of the fucking bullshit. Shout out to O, cause she said, Ray, I attended several days of this trial. I am so glad you are spreading the word about this horrendous disaster of this case. Yeah, we all do. That's why I'm here for. The GOAT brought me in this. Turtle Boy, Aiden Corny, free to go. I'm telling y'all, like, it feel like when I was watching and figuring it out, because you guys understand, everybody, like, they followed this case, right? Shout out to Boogs in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in here. I'm sorry if I miss you. Because it took a turn. Because I go from, looking at the oldenism, I'm sorry, y'all, my grammar if it's messed up. Shout out to my dog when players talk, JG in the building. What's up, pimp? I started seeing the oldeness and the oldenism, and then I found out oldeness are people who believe in certain things, and I see that, I find out that this turned to a fanboy. But let me start off with the oldonist. I don't know who Boogs is, but oldonist. And shout out to, there she is, it's Saints. Boogie's in the building. Oldonist. So I was thinking, y'all listen to me, because I was trying to get an understanding. I'm sorry, Boogies. I'm sorry. I was trying to get an understanding, right? And I'm telling people, y'all can say y'all don't believe in conspiracy theories all y'all want to. I do. I believe in that. This is before I knew everything else, so I want y'all to follow me, right? So I'm telling everybody, if y'all don't think that it's excellent people out here who like that, they like that, right? Then Classic put me on to Joshua Truger. And oh my God, that spit me upside down, right? And shout out to it was on Nerdy Addict. Shout out to them. Y'all can make sure Nerdy Addicts with Eve, and you got the beautiful Sleuth on there as well. So y'all make sure y'all go check that out, right? It tripped me out because this is the guy who is really intelligent, right? Superly intelligent about what's going on, right? And as they going through it with him, I see he reckon Sleuth asked him, "This a fanboy who did this?" And he broke it down basically like, yeah, this is a fanboy, right? Oh, thank you for being here. This was like a fanboy who did this, right? A fanboy, somebody who because he could look at it and see it wasn't done by an extremist, right? I know it's a lot, y'all. I know, but I'm telling y'all, this got me. Then you had this guy named, I forgot his name, Brad, and another motherfucker name started with a P, right? Who was putting all that olderness and oldenism stuff on there, like doing the stuff that we seen in the photos. If you see the pictures and how the body, man, oh my God, God bless Abby and Libby and Neil. Brad Hobart and Pat Westfall, yeah. All right? Holder was the bitch ass motherfucker who was putting the holding this shit on there. Patrick Westphal, he was in on it. It's a lot, y'all, but I know about these bitches, right? But what pissed me off is I just remember starting off the case, right? The girl say it was four little girls that they seen the dude who was 5'11", 6 feet, right? 5'11", 6 feet. It was another motherfucker who Officer bitch ass Doug Carter wouldn't say if Abby and Libby knew the dude who got arrested for child pornography, right? This shit is crazy, man. I'm sorry, I got caught up because it's a lot. It ain't even just a lot. It just pisses me the fuck off to see how you can miss this goddamn hard, right? To see how a man is down there suffering. His wife is suffering. The people around the world, we are suffering because we can see this clear cut, no debating that the bullshit police at sucker dick Delphi Police Department, they totally put this all on him for a particular reason, right? They broke Richard Allen, man. Just thinking about how, they put him in a penitentiary and the lawyers, I forgot who said it, that, 99.9% you keep him in a county jail. And then he was in there, they say you can only be in there for 15 days. They kept him in there for 13 months. He couldn't talk to his wife for months, 4 or 5 months before he confessed. You can listen to the call. You can tell he being coerced, right? I think I did it. I might have did it. And then he said on the call, oh, I gotta say, I got somebody right here standing by me. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But it's just, I'm so happy to be back. I got to revisit this, right? Because, I've been locked in from Wednesday through, just got back today, covering that boxing event, Shout out to the beautiful Emma in the building. And shout out to everybody else who I ain't seen in her, right? I'm sorry, but what's so fucked up about Officer Horseshit right here with the turkey gobble fucking neck with the moon ass chin? He kept it away, right? Because I want to get to it. Because this is, I'm telling y'all, this is horrible. This is horrible. This guy right here you see on the thumbnail, Jeffrey Turco. Jeffrey Turco. Important figure. And I think his name is Attorney Baldwin. Right. He gonna explain, and I'm gonna play these clips, right? Because I remember him, but I've been gone. The Lost Professor, yeah, Jeffrey Turco. This is everything right here. So far to me, this is everything. Because I'm not trying to spill the beans, but he told him about some guy in Norway who was well more educated on this, who was saying the same things he did. I can't confirm that it was Joshua Trago, Joshua, who interviewed on Nerdy Addicts, Eve, and Owner with Eve. I can confirm that they was talking about him, but he be in Norway. He from Ice in Norway. So I'm just thinking it had to be him, y'all, that he was referring to. But this is a terrible situation because this guy right here, devastating cover-up. Shitty horseshit. Lied and pieced himself, destroy Richard Allen. He is responsible. He is responsible. He is responsible. And the cover-up he did, right? Is covering up Jeffrey Turco, who could have gave him this information, but the bitch, when Jeffrey Turco, but Baldwin was trying to get it out of him, y'all, right? He was trying to. But before we get to that, right, I want to play this clip right here of Librado. I think this was the first lawyer, the second lawyer. This Librado, and he finna explain how he didn't even believe it at first. And then we're going to get into that.
Richard Allen's treatment behind bars.
We had visited him on several occasions, but driving 4 hours each way was difficult. And then at Wabash, they're not set up for visitation, so we were literally in a makeshift kitchen, and he was in a cell. We had to stay in 6 feet back, and he's talking through the slot where they put the tray of food through, and that's not a very conducive way to have meaningful conversations with your client. I couldn't hand him documents. I couldn't have him sign documents. And, I'm sure it was very difficult for him to see the videos we were showing him through that slot. So I couldn't have been prepared for trial even October if that was how all the visits were going to be conducted.
And you've handled death penalty cases. Have you ever had a pre-trial defendant treated the same way as Richard Allen?
Never. Never. In my 25 years, or Sremen's 25 years, have we ever had a murder client held pre-trial in a maximum security facility and then was transferred from one maximum security facility to another. Never.
And in your motion to transfer, you guys described him as being treated like Hannibal Lecter.
Particularly in Westville, at least we were allowed to sit face-to-face across the table from him. But the way he was handcuffed and to his chest, it looked extraordinarily uncomfortable. I couldn't shake his hand. We couldn't have him sign anything. I visited clients in prison on several occasions. That was different than anything I've ever experienced before.
And the way his hands were shackled were similar to how we see him in court, right?
Yes,
Where it's
exactly
like the tops of the hands are touching.
Yes.
And it's way up high on his chest.
It's connected to a box on his chest. I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone confined in that manner before.
So why? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. He is 5'6", 120, 130 pounds. He is not a physical threat to anyone. From all accounts, he's been a model citizen because he's locked down 23 hours a day. We told the confinement officers that we wanted him unhandcuffed so we could shake his hand and maybe have him sign documents, and they weren't budging on that. I don't think Mr. Allen had anything to do with this. I honestly don't. Now, what I believe, nobody cares. My job would have been to convince 12 jurors of that.
You're a defense attorney, so that's your job to sort of say your client is innocent. Is that something you say about all your clients?
No, and rarely do I believe it. But in this particular case, I believe it 100%.
And what convinced you?
Conversations with him, the fact that he lived in this very small community, that's not much bigger than a high school. He worked at the CVS in Delphi. The police sketches are hung up in the CVS. The bridge guy picture is in the CVS. And in 5.5 years, no one comes into that store and says that kind of looks like you. And I don't know if this has any relevance, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but an arrest was made 27 days before a sheriff election. Just my humble opinion that played some kind of role in his arrest. And he hadn't moved. He hadn't changed his story. No facts or evidence have changed, to my knowledge, that brought law enforcement back to him 5.5 years later. He has no criminal record. They raided his house, took all of his social media. There's no ties to this Odinistic cult whatsoever. He didn't even know that there was Odinist in Delphi. He had never heard of it. Just a lot of things don't make sense.
Rosie and Andrew Baldwin also said that that there's no electronic evidence linking him to the crime scene or the girls, and that there's no DNA of his at the scene. Is that accurate?
Yes, as far as I can tell, yes.
You had not heard of Odinism when it first was floated with regard to this case?
I honestly thought, I was like, no disrespect to Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Rosie, because they're excellent lawyers. I thought it was hocus pocus. I honestly didn't, I never heard of it. And the more I got into it, that's a real thing. It is a real thing, and it's scary.
In what way?
Well, I believe they sacrificed a girl and killed another one. Some of the people that live in Delphi were very, very brazen about their Odinistic beliefs on their Facebook pages and other social media accounts, including the sergeant who was in charge of keeping Mr. Allen safe in Westville. It's real. Just the other day, Robert and I were going to lunch, and we saw a Jeep Wrangler right here in Fort Wayne with a spare tire on the back, and the cover said Odin, and it had all Odin spears like around on the cover. I would have never known what that meant outside this case. So Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Rosie were onto something right away.
You described one of those officers that's mentioned in one of Rosie and Baldwin's filings, Sergeant Jones, who was wearing patches that said, "In Odin we trust," on his Department of Corrections uniform.
Yep.
The judge ordered the warden to make them stop. And then what did you notice?
That Mr. Jones had it tattooed under his right eye. From the best we can tell, it looks a lot like Odin's spear. And he had several tattoos on his forearms, including the interlocking triangles that are on his Facebook post. I got to give credit to Mr. Rosie and Mr. Baldwin that, they picked up on that. We saw him, and, confinement officers at the Allen County Jail aren't even allowed to have facial hair, let alone facial tattoos. I was a little miffed that the warden allowed that, or, he even knew what it was.
He looks a little scared talking about.
Absolutely, he looks scared and terrified thinking about that, right? It's a lot that go into that. Like I said, he said he didn't believe it, at first, but he believed that a young girl was sacrificed, right? Shout out to Attorney Librado, right? This is the mind-boggling part. He said he done served death penalty cases. He never seen nobody get treated the way he did. They were treating this dude like Hannibal Lecter, he said, right? Shout out to the beautiful Redacted in the building, the beautiful Mary B, beautiful Joy. And if I missed you, I apologize, anybody. This is devastating to me, right? Because then I go back to Officer ass horseshit, right? And if it wasn't for Attorney Baldwin, we'll never know about Jeffrey Turco. The guy Officer Horseshit did an interview with, right? That I'm gonna let Attorney Baldwin, I hope I'm saying his name right. Right? Yeah, man, we cranks over here like real talk, and I'm riding. I'm riding, y'all. I gotta know that. I'm just so happy to be back, bro. I've been waiting to get back into this case. And I apologize that, because I got to get myself back familiar, because I'm telling you, I've been gone since Wednesday, got back today, had a long 4 days, right? And, like getting back into this, everything going through my mind, so I apologize, right? I seriously do, right? But I can't stand this turkey gobbling neck piece of officer horse shit, right? Who tried to hide the truth. Because Attorney Baldwin was trying to find the video of Turco, but I want to get y'all. I don't want to give it away, right? But look, I do want to play this first, right here. I think it's this one. Shout out to the beautiful Andrea Burkhardt, right? Remember, she finna tell you who the real criminals was.
He was taken to a Department of Corrections prison. He was taken to a maximum security prison. He was taken to the maximum security wing of the maximum security prison, and he was held in isolation, having not been convicted of any crime, for 13 months by himself in a cell. And so we spent the afternoon learning about what that did to Rick Allen and what that was like. And I have represented thousands of criminal defendants. And I can count on one hand the number of monsters in human skin that I've encountered among criminals, some of them serious, violent criminals. I saw more monsters in that courtroom today than I ever saw in an orange jumpsuit. And they had badges.
See, now this truly broke my heart right here when I see this beautiful, intelligent lady and the great, beautiful, talented, remarkable, and smart Andrea Burkhardt say she has been doing cases this long, right? And she's seen more monsters wearing badges than in orange suits. If that don't make your belly drop, if that don't make you tears come to your eyes, are you a fucking human being? Right. Shout out to the beautiful growth. Shout out to Defensive Diaries too, Ali and Bob Marley. Who go Bob Marley? Check him out.
You can't start throwing people that are innocent until proven guilty, who are pretrial detainees, into a fucking prison for 13 months and have them held in solitary confinement so they lose their mind, start eating their shit, start pounding their head against the fucking wall in order to elicit some kind of confession because you're worried that your case, in terms of the evidence you have, is not strong enough. And I don't give a shit that he could be on a tablet calling his wife, not being able to lay eyes on her and have her be in front of him, whether it's behind plexiglass or not, and have her, because I'm assuming because he wasn't a convicted felon that she would have been able to sit with him in a room without a piece of glass in front of him, because the guy is a pretrial detainee, not a convicted fucking felon. You can't have him in prison under the same rules that you have for the convicted felon. Like every time I would hear them say, oh, well, we made more accommodations for Richard. Well, you're supposed to. He's a fucking pretrial detainee. He's sitting in there, an innocent man, you jag off. The rest of those people in that prison are all convicted murderers and rapists. And this guy is not that. And you're treating him as though he is. It's like that, the whole incarceration side of that. Anyone that looks at that objectively and is like, I'm good with it, they can fuck right off. Like, this is not how we can run shit in this country.
Boy, he touched my soul. Do y'all understand the definition and how deep that is, what he said. We made accommodations. Well, you're supposed to. He's a pretrial defendant, you fucking jack off. Right? Yeah, he was there. And what do y'all think about, do you hear Bob saying this and he telling the truth? They was doing this guy dirty. Some of the most, where a guy started seeing the losers, you're punching your head into you while you start eating your own feces. Okay, and then what makes me so mad, right? Shout out to the beautiful Andrea Burke Sloot and the other two beautiful ladies, right? DNA, hair, DNA, hair. And Officer Horseshit and Officer fucking Pussycat Carter. Where's it at? And I'm not trying, but it pisses me off that the families didn't even want the DNA sampled. What is we doing? Watch this, y'all.
Well, you know, there's kind of an elephant in the room with the crime scene for me that you know, I got some serious concerns about how it was handled, and it's well, you know, there's kind of an elephant in the room with the crime scene for me that you know, I got some serious concerns about how it was handled, and it's the combination of, you know, we've got all this male DNA on the girls, on the clothes, in places it shouldn't be, including the underwear. But then we also have these presumptive positive tests for semen. Yeah. And you know, these are not, yes, inside from the cervical swab. Yes. And so these are you know, these are not foolproof tests. Like, these have an error rate, certainly. But like, the probability of getting a false positive on both of them seems quite low. And then when you combine that with the presence of this other male DNA, that we're happy to just explain that away as you know, meaning nothing, because it doesn't you know, fit our theory of the case. But you know, circumstantially, it raises some very significant questions for me. And so I don't know how in this day and age, you know, that their explanation at trial is, well, you know, these are degraded samples. They were insufficient for comparison. There's not enough information available. You can do whole genome sequencing now, and it's like, it's kind of specifically for that. Right. Like, what it's good for is being able to extract a lot more usable information out of like small quantities of DNA for identification purposes. And so to me, if you're not pursuing that with this male DNA that you recovered from the clothing, particularly from the underwear, I think it's just clear that you don't actually want an answer to that question.
Yeah. At some point, did nobody say, we have this male DNA, if we figure out whose male DNA this is, and like I said, like with Libby, it's her bare skin.
They swabbed a lot, and there's a lot of DNA on her.
I have a problem with saying that it's from the laundry. From the male household members.
I do too.
I have a problem with that in terms of like sexual assault victims. You know, what do you do if you have a child in a house and there's an accusation like that, and a test is done and it comes back positive, and then the laundry. Now you turn around, now you're saying it's from the laundry. So one of two things is true. Either you are going to let people get away with sexually assaulting people, including children, or the laundry explanation is bullshit, because I've never heard an interrogation, a trial, where they did anything but suggest that the reason that DNA would be on so-and-so's underwear or bra or whatever is that they had to have touched them. They had to have put fluids on them.
Never seen a prosecution where they were so eager to explain away the presence of so much DNA. Like, it's unheard of. Like, for them to even acknowledge that like DNA is transferable is kind of, you know, it's like holy grail, because they never do that for all these reasons. They're finding a tiny little, you know, trace amount, and they're wanting to use that to establish something, you know, real significant. This one, they were bending over backwards to explain away the presence of all of this DNA, and it's just unlike anything I've ever heard. And it's the combination of that with the presumptive positives for semen that is such a problem for me, because it's highly coincidental.
Is it that uncommon? So like, for both of them to have that, is that significant, or at least
if it's like
enough to be like, we should check?
If it's like a roughly 10% failure rate, you know, 1 in 10, then for both of them to have a failure rate, it's a 100%. It's a 100 chance. It's a 1% chance that that's what happened. It's not impossible. That's a low probability.
It's like my concern. So they said they blamed the semen in the underwear on the laundry. I'm assuming that what we mean by that is like that was the defense saying maybe it was from the laundry. And my thing is there's no way that the prosecution didn't come back and say that's total fucking garbage. There's no way it came from the laundry. So, and then here we have the hair on the finger. We never tested it. It doesn't matter anyway. It came from the sweatshirt. The hair on their breasts or the DNA on their breasts and on their private areas inside them, inside their bodies, is from the laundry.
Well, when you have such a circumstantial case, like you would think, okay, this is something we want to follow, but they keep saying, well, we don't want to use up the whole sample because then what? I'm like, well, then you might find out some information.
Exactly.
But that was their reasoning, at least
Or
according to
we're
Bob
going to wait until
Robsky.
technology gets better and then we're going to test
They're not
it.
even using the technology that's available right now.
No,
What good does it do later? Like,
Well,
according to a post by Becky Patty on Facebook, she said that CeCe Moore offered to do genetic genealogy after she had met her at CrimeCon. She brought that to the investigators, and the investigators told her they already have their own people on it and not to worry about it.
Oh my God.
That's from Becky Patty.
Hi.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Hold up. But before we get to that, though, let me say this. You got to be fucking kidding me, right? It comes from the fucking laundry? Oh, okay, so you're going to accept some laundry being inside of them, the DNA inside of them, you stupid fucking idiots, and skin and fucking hair, and you bitches getting offered for people to test this, and they did nothing. Oh, but remember, Officer piece of the Doug shit said this.
How about we hit that reset button and understand the justice in this country was served. And if you don't like justice in this country, go to another one.
When Doug Carter said, we had justice today, and if you don't like justice in this country, you can leave, I take umbrage with that. That's not our country. I would like to think, I hope, that we can all express our thoughts and beliefs and not be told we need to leave our country. You know, if that were the case, the Memphis 3 never would have been exonerated. The Brooklyn 5 never would have been exonerated. My son wanted me to watch the hurricane with him. Reuben Carter. You know, it's people speaking out in these types of cases that so often are the driving force in finally getting justice. And there was a theme throughout the sentencing and carried out in the press conference that a plea to Rick Allen not to appeal. He has an absolute constitutional right to an appeal. We believe strongly that mistakes were made and that he should appeal. He believes that too. And trying to induce him not to, I just don't think that's right.
I don't know how you can have justice with injustice. These girls deserve justice.
And then look, I'm sorry to the beautiful Kathy because that breaks my heart seeing her, right? And this dude say, if you don't like our investigation, get the fuck out of America. That's what the fuck that son of a bitch told us. If you don't like the way our investigation is going, this son of a bitch, he said, leave America. This piece of shit said that. You got to be fucking kidding me. If you don't like how we investigate, leave America. Fuck you, pussycat. Fuck you. The audacity of this red-faced fucking evil piece of shit. If you don't like, shout out to Petty LaBelle in the building. If you don't like how we investigate, leave America. Did y'all just hear the beautiful Andrea Burkhardt and the beautiful Sloop? DNA, it come from a fucking laundry? Man, I can't make this. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. And I'm telling y'all, right? Right? I'm telling y'all. What's this? This is the thing right here. This is the thing right here. The two things that was most dearest to that guy right there, Richard Allen, was his wife and his daughter. Right. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let Andrea do it and tell you how they broke this guy.
To talk about what he or she saw in a Reddit post, it doesn't surprise me at all that the judge would rule against the defendant on this. But there sounds like like there's a whole bunch of appealable issues here, and frankly, it sounds like Richard Allen got absolutely railroaded.
It's just a tactic to leverage his wife and daughter and say that they were going to suffer if he didn't confess? Oh, no. Lieutenant Holman says that's not what I meant. That's not what I intended by that. That wasn't my meaning at all. What alternative meaning is there? You're going to drag your effing wife and daughter into this because you're too effing bullheaded to get out in front of this. What other interpretation is there besides your wife and daughter are going to be involved if you don't confess? They're going to be dragged in. Does that sound like a pleasant thing that they're going to enjoy? That this is going to be a beneficial thing for their family, a positive experience? No, that's not what he meant.
What you gonna do? And like George just said, he confessed to unaliving grandchildren that he didn't even have. He was saying he was killing people who were still alive, right? And Ocean, I love Brother Cancer too. He was saying he was killing people that weren't even alive. Are you kidding me? Man, I'm not. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold up, what's this one right here?
Might it that period of time has been when he was force-fed Haldol and other medications, possibly having him into Haldol poisoning to the degree that his eyes bulged out of his head, but you don't take that into account? You fucking assholes. You evil fucking assholes. If this would happen to Rick Allen, happen to a prisoner of war, that would be a war crime. Depriving sleep, 24/7 lights on, are considered torture. A war crime. But not in Indiana prisons.
You got to be fucking kidding me, right? Oh, I forgot about this one. Check this out.
I'm not exaggerating when I say that every single step of this case from the very beginning all the way through, to today, is tainted. It's mishandled, or it's misdirected, or there's dishonesty. I haven't even talked about the lies that law enforcement, other than just the very beginning when we talked about the search warrant, the lies from law enforcement about this case are just, they should be shocking. They should be so disturbing because of how easy and cavalier that they were about lying under oath to the people, to the court, and nobody seemed to take any of that seriously.
Wow. I mean, he's going to have to get a new trial. He's going to have to get a new trial, and
I hope so.
It better be with a new judge also. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely nuts. But even on the lack of the investigation, you forget about the third-party culprit, but the fact that they didn't even look at the videos, that's like a separate defense as opposed to like a third-party culprit. You just didn't do your.
I agree. Of course,
that in either.
But she lumped it all into the same, this is the third party culprit. It doesn't meet the standard. In Indiana requires a nexus between the individual third party and the crime itself. Yeah, well, I look at this and I'm like, they have more evidence of his involvement than they do of Richard Allen's. I don't know how you don't have a nexus, but she just kept saying over and over again, there's no nexus, there's no nexus. At one point, the defense even asked, like, what is a nexus? Because I don't know how we're not going to get there. And she said, well, for example, DNA. And we're like, yeah, no kidding. Maybe DNA would be a good nexus.
And there's no DNA from Richard Allen.
It sounds like there certainly is a nexus. It doesn't surprise me that if the judge, for example, didn't allow that FBI expert to testify about Odenism, and the judge allowed this expert to talk about what he or she saw in a Reddit post, it doesn't surprise me at all that the judge would rule against the defendant on this. But there sounds like like there's a whole bunch of appealable issues here, and frankly, it sounds like Richard Allen got absolutely railroaded.
It's just a tactic to leverage his wife and daughter and say that they were going to suffer if he didn't confess? Oh.
Yeah, so that was the same thing. See that? And like free_Ricky_Bay. They play in our faces daily. But this sorry piece of shit, cornball, form filthy animal. Just real quick.
How about we hit that reset button and understand the justice in this country was served? And if you don't like justice in this country, go to another one.
When Doug Carter said, we had justice today, and if you don't like justice in this country, you can leave, I take umbrage with that. That's not our country.
And remember, I forgot about this, right? Remember, shout out to Betsy. Remember Betsy? I don't know if y'all know about Betsy. That's the one who gave him the first eyewitness. She said there was a dude in his 20s, had puffy hair. Right, taller. Oh, this piece of shit. He said, I don't give a fuck about the first sketch. That's secondary to me. You got to be out your... This evil cocksucker said, I don't care about the first thing. It's secondary to me. Oh my God. That is nasty work. He said he didn't care, y'all, about Betsy, who was out there, who seen it, the disregard of her. Oh, remember, let's talk about, cause it's coming to me, let's talk about Judge Gull shit, right? And how she let a fucking dude go Google something and say, hey, Judge, Google, here it is. You fucking ignorant, long, penguin-looking broad you. Like free _ Ricky _ Bay say they play in our faces daily. They play in our face daily. This ain't something I'm telling you I think. This something I'm telling you I know. If you're looking at this case, you can see it clear cut. No debating. This piece of shit, good shit, ass wipe, ass face, butt face, banana, just every type of fucking strong face you could think about. What she did, she handicapped them. She handicapped the defense so bad, man. It was just a whitewash from the beginning. This piece of shit, long string, fucking her in disgraceful girl shit. Man. Oh, man. I can't even look at that strong face, pink looking bitch. Man, y'all, I ain't going nowhere. When we get back, I gotta talk my shit. We just gonna take a quick break, right? Y'all know my favorite song in the world is by Pretty Kooky, Blue Blue Curtain. If y'all ain't subscribed to her, please go subscribe to her. Right? Yeah, she hog-tied the fucking defense. Bitch thought she was playing Cowboys and Indians. You ugly bitch. This ugly bitch thought she was playing Cowboys and fucking Indians. Y'all, I'll be right back. I'm sorry, y'all.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. walls closing, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent it lies. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pain's a prison, the glass cuts deep, eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tear 'em down, let the light pour through. But they hang like chains, stitched with sorrow's hue. Every fold whispers secrets I can't erase. Every thread pulls tighter, leaving no space.
Man, shout out to everybody out here from the 214 across the pond. Man, that's is the best shit. Best song of the year. And it's created by no other than the great, beautiful, fantastic, multi-talented, pretty kooky, aka Jamie James. Man, hold up. Turn up for that with that gangster lady. Subscribe to Pretty Kooky, man. We need to drop that link, man, so we can pin it, so we can get them running over there like Forrest Gump. You understand me? Yeah, that's how we coming. Like I said, let me turn up for all y'all again with that gangster lane, cause we on one right now. Hold up. Oh yeah, I'm like that in real life, you heard me? Y'all should have seen me covering that fight this weekend. We were turned up, man. A lot of celebrities in the building, rappers, actresses, actors, everybody was in the building in Houston, Texas, and we was down there lit. Call me Mr. VIP. Yeah, that way. Let's get back to it though. So, this son of a bitch, you know, Officer Horseshit, who hid the truth. You see the ugly, gobbly, turtleneck motherfucker right there. Love you too, Ocean. You have a great day, and I can't wait for y'all to come on. You know, we gonna, let me pin that. Damn, pretty hold up. Say write something and then pin it, because it's hard for me to do it like that. Write something and then pin it, Pretty Kooky. Please, you know, you know me, I'm a boomer, like I boom, 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 boom. Joy, I'm with that. We can have a Texas meet and greet. I'm with that now, you know, like, but, you know, when everybody was trying to get to know y'all, I didn't really have an idea who I was. Now everybody can see I'm really who the hell I said I was, right? And that's why I just want to give y'all a glimpse of this weekend. I ain't want to come in here and say, oh, I do this and I do that. I'm trying to make my mark here. There we go. There we go. Got him. Now y'all see that right there? Look, y'all. Hold up. Now, I need everybody, please, because she is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please hit that link and go subscribe to Pretty Cookie. Please, please, please. She is the best. I'm just glad everybody know who I am now, and we could turn up. But man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. That Joshua dude, when he told me like this was a fanboy, no, thank you, Pretty Cookie. Okay, Jordan. When he told me this could have been a fanboy, right? Man. But let's go to I think it's Attorney Baldwin and him with this other guy. Y'all can understand what I'm saying. Let's get to it.
And they're arranged. Like it looks like somebody intentionally arranged them in a certain way. So when we got to August 10th and we're interviewing Jerry Holman, he was the state police officer and kind of in charge of it. We played dumb with him until we stopped playing dumb. And then I kind of came in. It was kind of a good cop, bad cop. Brad was the good cop. And he and Jerry Holman was saying, well, yeah, that stuff, that Odin stuff, it wasn't anything. It was not. And how do you know that it wasn't a cult or something like that? Because the Purdue professor told us. Oh, okay. So the Purdue professor told you. Who's that? I can't remember his name right now. So then I was the bad cop, and then I started pressing him. And I said, here's a 12-page report that details what this whole other investigation that was going on by 3 other investigators. Kevin Murphy is a state trooper, very respected state trooper, flawless record. He was investigating this Odin angle. It was almost like there was a side project that whether they knew it was going on or they didn't want it to know whether it was going on, I'm not really sure. But Kevin Murphy, a guy named Todd Click, and Greg Ferenczi, there were 3 officers investigating this, and I had all their reports, not all of them. They hid other reports from us, and I mean, I don't know how much time you have, but so ultimately with Jerry Holman, I said, we got to find this Purdue professor. I looked at the prosecutor. We got to find the Purdue professor. Now, in the real world, in the normal world, I have to keep doing that because people may.
In the real world, in the normal world, we got to find this Purdue professor. Because Officer Horseshit had a dildo up in his fucking buttocks, right? Lying to us, right? This dildo in his buttocks cocksucker, right? But Attorney Andy Baldwin, he a bad man. He a bad man. This is when you see intelligence and smarts coming out to play, right? This is when you see it. This is when you see he is ferocious, right? He ain't playing no game about Richard Allen. But like the beautiful classic said, he had him fucking hog-tied, right? You know, like I said, the motherfucker was playing cowboy, the officer, I mean, the fucking, butt face, penguin face, fucking, gull shit, playing cowboys and Indians. Like it's a fucking game, stupid bitch. Like this bitch playing with lives, stupid bitch. Right, can you imagine that shit? This handicap, y'all think Andrea Burkhart? Y'all think Osaka gonna lie to us? They was there in the courtroom. Oh, get him, Attorney Andy Baldwin.
What a normal or real world looks like. Here's what happens. Yeah, we'll get that Purdue professor to you. Hey, Jerry, or Jerry might call. Hey, I'll get that for you right now. Hey, would you call up so-and-so and tell them to look up the Purdue professor? They want to know who it is. You should be able to get that within an hour. I mean, you're the state police for crying out loud, right? Well, that was August the 10th. August, the following week, we called, hey, what's the name of that Purdue professor? We emailed, called. Don't know him. Don't know it yet. We're looking. Following week, who is it? We want to know. We want to depose him. We're working on it. You know, now we're into September. We're working on it. On September 6th, listen to this, Alex. This is so ridiculous what I'm about to say, okay? On September 6th, I get an email from Nick McClelland, the prosecutor. And in the email, he says, I think he was responding to other stuff, but then he says, oh, by the way, the Purdue professor, we still haven't figured out who it is yet, and we may never figure it out. Okay? This Purdue professor is a guy that, according to state police in their deposition a month earlier, entirely changed the tide of how this.
Like classics say, in Drill's term, it shocks the conscience. Boy, like Catherine say, God bless Andy. God bless Andy. Right? Months and months and months go by. We don't know where the Purdue professor is. We might not ever find him. Remember that. This was Officer Horseshit too. We don't know where the Purdue professor is. Months go out there. Andy, Attorney Bauer, he trying to get the answers. Right? Instead he brushing them off. And Officer Horseshit didn't think he was going to have an attorney that was an assassin for his client like Attorney Baldwin was, right? So he just said, we might not never find him. Oh, Andy said, oh yeah? She said, don't never forget, Clay said, don't never forget Andy Baldwin asked Holman if he was in danger to Leo's had been murdered. And White Holman asked White Holman says, I don't know, are you? I remember that. Do y'all see this shit right here? This stupid motherfucker acting like he didn't know what Jeffrey Turco was. The Purdue professor who this silly son of a bitch did the interview with. Oh, we could never find. Oh, so bitch. And that cock-a-doodle-doo ass head you got, your brain didn't know that he was fucking still working at Purdue? You stupid motherfucker. Do y'all see this shit? Man, he got Andy fucked up though. I'm sorry y'all for my language. And Strange, shout out to Strange, they said if there ever was a case that absolutely 100% deserves to be overturned, it's this insults and miscarriage of justice. Sir, talk that shit, Strange. Strange credulity. Salute to you. Yeah, the whole freaking town was related, as Joy say, right? Do y'all see this shit? This cocksucker said, we don't know if we'll ever find him. This piece of shit, man. Oh, Lord, gee, this is bothering me, y'all. Like, I am so bothered. Right? This is blatant maliciousness. Clay say, Ray Andy said Indiana State Police were monitoring his links. This boy, oh my God. Man, this shit is hurting my heart every time and it's coming back now. Right? This son of a bitch said he don't know if they'll ever find Jeffrey Turco, the Purdue professor. Man, let's go to the next clip.
Okay, this Purdue professor is a guy that, according to state police in their deposition a month earlier, entirely changed the tide of how this thing was being investigated. They were investigating heavily Odinism, Norse paganism, and according to Jerry Holman, who's the lead detective on it, once the Purdue professor cast his vote on this, this was not a cult, this was not anything Odinistic or Norse paganist. We just moved on. That's how important that Purdue professor was to them, they claim, yet they did not know and they could not identify who it is, the state police. All right. Well, what Nick McClelland did not know was going on at that very time as I was writing the Frank's memo. And in the Frank's memo, I called them out completely for claiming that they weren't able to identify the Purdue professor. I included Nick McClelland's email saying, how can it be? This is the most preposterous thing. It's laughable. It's embarrassing. And if there wasn't a guy, in my opinion, falsely accused of murder, this would be laughable, but it's tragic. It really is that they're not allowing us to figure out who this Purdue professor is. It caused me to think, did the Purdue professor really say that this was an Odinism? I'll get you to the end of the story there. He didn't say that. And it seems to me that that's why they were trying to hide the Purdue professor from us. So on September the 8th,
Nick, she talking about the fake ass Billy, the fake ass what's that fucker? The fake ass Matthew McCartney looking motherfucker, right? Nick McClelland, he's a piece of shit too. The fake ass Matthew McCartney looking motherfucker, right? Off brand looking motherfucker, right? They thought they had them one. They thought this was go along, get along, easy go along. This was going to be an easy ride, right? But this is the worst shit I see. You greasy slick coker. This is a fucking tragedy. Right? And we'll talk about that later. Let's get to the next clip.
Laughable. It's embarrassing. And if there wasn't a guy, in my opinion, falsely accused of murder, this would be laughable, but it's tragic. It really is that they're not allowing us to figure out who this Purdue professor is. It caused me to think, did the Purdue professor really say that this was an Odinism? I'll get you to the end of the story there. He didn't say that. And it seems to me that that's why they were trying to hide the Purdue professor from us. So on September the 18th, the Frank's memo is filed, and until the judge shut it down and she put a seal on it so nobody could see it. But for about 2 hours or so, it was out there for the world to see. And, that's when the Purdue professor, the world knew that there was a missing Purdue professor. Yeah. Okay. That's on September the 18th. What was it? 12 days earlier, they weren't able to find it for the month and a half, and they may never be able to find it. So now the September 18th out, and there had to be complete, I would love to have been a fly on the wall in Jerry Holman's office when that Frank's memo came out for a variety of reasons, but particularly as it relates to the Purdue professor and Nick McClelland's as well. Because when that happened,
see that? Attorney Andy said he would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see they duck lips, to see the slobber just fall from their fucking mouth when he put out that Frank memo. All right. Month and a half. Attorney giving his blood, sweat, and tears to get this guy Jeffrey Turco. And they just shooed him and shooed him and shooed him away. Made Attorney Andy start thinking, damn, did y'all really interview this professor? Is this really true? Am I just chasing a donkey? But then the Frank memo come out. Watch this, y'all.
It could have been, I can't remember the exact words. It was likely a Germanic runic script. Oh, well, no, are you sure about that? And then when you saw the report, and they still didn't send me the report right away, I had to ask and beg for that, and I didn't get that until October of 2024. But in his report at the very beginning, this is the report that they say that the police say caused them, the police, to go off the trail of these Odinists and these Norse paganists and move on to something else, is because of this report. Because the report says clearly that this is not Odinism. First paragraph of the report. Although I can't really be sure what this is, it is quite plausible. That's the phrase, quite plausible that this was a Germanic runic script. It's the exact opposite of what Jerry Holman said in his deposition. That's called, that's sworn statement. That's a sworn statement by Jerry Holman. I'm sure the state police are investigating him for perjury right now. I'm sure that is happening, okay? Because he lied under oath. Jerry Holman lied under oath when he said that the Purdue professor said that this was not a cult or anything Norse paganist. And then you take that fact that he didn't.
He lied under oath. That's why you seen me do this video days ago. Devastating cover up. Jerry, the horseshit dickhead with a dildo in his buttocks, lied, impeached himself, and destroyed Richard Allen, right? Like, yo, did I stutter? Listen to what Attorney Andy said again.
It could have been, I can't remember the exact words. It was likely a Germanic runic script. Oh, well, no, are you sure about that? And then when you saw the report, and they still didn't send me the report right away. I had to ask and beg for that, and I didn't get that until October of 2024. But in his report at the very beginning, this is the report that they say that the police say caused them, the police, to go off the trail of these Odinists and these Norse paganists and move on to something else, is because of this report. Because the report says clearly that this is not Odinism. First paragraph of the report. Although I can't really be sure what this is, it is quite plausible. That's the phrase, quite plausible that this was a Germanic runic script. It's the exact opposite of what Jerry Holman said in his deposition. That's called, that's sworn statement. That's a sworn statement by Jerry Holman. I'm sure the state police are investigating him for perjury right now. I'm sure that is happening, okay? Because he lied under oath. Jerry Holman lied under oath when he said that the Purdue professor said that this was not a cult or anything Norse paganist. And then you take that fact that he didn't.
He lied on the fucking oath. I gotta agree with everything except one thing Attorney Andy said. He said they investigate them. Them piece of shit ass Indiana dicks ain't doing nothing, in my opinion. Them pieces of shit ain't doing nothing to this fucking motherfucker right here. Boy, I could clothesline that motherfucker right now, man. Like just a pump, just get in the ring and punch his face. Clash, you say, no, they just tried to get Baldwin and Rozzy on contempt charges, dirty fuckers. I could just, man, check this out though, y'all. Check this.
Reasons, but particularly as it relates to the Purdue professor and Nick McClelland's as well. Because when that happened, they had to be like, oh my God, it's only a matter of time before the Purdue professor comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, that's me. Or somebody says, oh, I know the guy. He told me that he was working on that. And so lo and behold, Alex, September the 19th, the very next day, they find the Purdue professor that they could not find for a month and a half. The day that it comes out, the day after it comes out there, they find the Purdue professor. And you should have heard the interview because they sent the audio over, which I'm kind of surprised because it seemed when you hear it, and I hope the Court of Appeals listens to it, you hear Jerry Holman interviewing this guy, and it's almost like a cross-examination. Like, now you remember that it was totally leading questions. You didn't believe there was any Odinism going on there, right? I mean, there was other, you didn't think that meant anything, right? I mean, and he's like, no, that's not what I didn't say that. It definitely could be it could have been, I can't remember the exact words. It was likely a Germanic runic script. Oh, well, no, are you sure about that? And
hold up, before I start spitting out the mouth, because before I start spitting out the mouth, because I'm mad as a motherfucker. What we just heard Attorney Baldwin say, man, the the most beautiful Mo is in the building. And I love her so freaking much. I say, hold up, wait a minute, turn up for her and do that gangster lane. Love you. Man, love you to death. She's in the building. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Now I'm back. I'm telling you guys, it seems like my veins about to pop out my fucking neck. Right? Remember. September 18th. Stupid son of a bitch right there in Jerry Horse shit. Found out about the Frank Memo. Hold up, but remember before that, 12 days before that. Oh, we probably never find it. We probably never know what Jerry, we probably never find Turco, the Purdue professor. This son of a bitch, right? Now hold up. Listen to this motherfucker. I love you, Joy. Have a great night. Listen to this son of a bitch. Like September the 19th? Oh, what? Hold up. Tell us what happened again, Attorney Baldwin.
Reasons, but particularly as it relates to the Purdue professor and Nick McClelland's as well. Because when that happened, they had to be like, oh my God, it's only a matter of time before the Purdue professor comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, that's me. Or somebody says, oh, I know the guy. He told me that he was working on that. And so lo and behold, Alex, September the 19th, the very next day, they find the Purdue professor that they could not find for a month and a half. The day that it comes out, the day after it comes out there, they find the Purdue professor. And you should have heard the interview because they sent the audio over, which I'm kind of surprised because it seemed when you hear it, and I hope Judge the Court of Appeals listens to it, you hear Jerry Holman interviewing this guy, and it's almost like a cross-examination. Like, now you remember that it was totally leading questions. You didn't believe there was any Odinism going on there, right? I mean, there was other, you didn't think that meant anything, right? I mean, and he's like, no, that's not what I didn't say that. It definitely could be it could have been, I can't remember the exact words. It was likely a Germanic runic script. Oh, well, no, are you sure about that? And
you see these foreign filthy fucking animals from the Delphi Police Department. You see what these foreign fucking filthy animals did? Hold up. Let me put him on the screen and take that ugly turkey gobbleneck motherfucker off. You see what these foreign filthy animals did, right? The next day, hola, ¿qué pasó, amigo? Oh, I do know your friend. Oh, you do? You know who the fuck I've been talking about in Jeffrey Turco? Oh, you know why? Because he's a professor at a big college, and if it get out, somebody will step forward and put their hands up. Hey, that's my friend, that's my brother, that's my cousin. I know him. I went to high school with. I grew up in this town. You son of a bitch. Then the next day, this ignorant motherfucker. Oh, you know him now, huh, bitch? You know where he at now. So for a month and a half, you had me chasing the donkey for nothing. You stale-faced, ugly, dog-looking bitch. So you had me chasing the donkey on the tail for nothing for a month and a fucking half. While Richard Allen sit in fucking prison and get tortured. Boy, I could slap the shit out this dude right now, man. Oh, hold up. Watch this.
Tell accurate information. To be generous, I'll say he didn't tell accurate information, Jerry Holman. But you take that and then you look into, well, why is it that they could not find the Purdue professor? It's because they didn't want us to know that. That's the most likely scenario. And I can't tell you how incredibly troubling that is, because now you have a prosecutor out there who sent me an email. Why is he sending me an email? Then later on, we learned about that they did know who the Purdue professor was in the mid to late August.
Wow.
We found a report that said that, and Nick McClellan never. Here's what Nick McClellan, and this is again in the real world, in the normal world. Nick McClellan calls you up and says, "Hey, I know you've been wanting to talk to the Purdue professor. We finally found who it is. I know that the Frank's memo just came out, and it seems kind of weird that we just kind of found him out of the blue, but we just did. And I want to apologize, man, because I should have been able to find that out. Nothing like that. This is the normal. Normal is so far out of whack on this case that you start to lose perspective almost as a defense lawyer, and maybe even journalists. I don't know, because
it fucks you up, right? It fucked you up. Attorney Baldwin was fucking tired. He couldn't do nothing. Attorney Labrado, he said he's worked death cases. He's never seen nobody get treated like Richard Allen. He said they had his chains up so far up his chest he couldn't even sign anything. He said they treated him like he was Hannibal Lecter. Right? They put him in prison. What did Bob Marley tell us at first about somebody who a pretrial defendant? What you say, Bob? Marley set out the defensive diaries. Well, what'd you say, sir?
You can't start throwing people that are innocent until proven guilty, who are pretrial detainees, into a fucking prison for 13 months and have them held in solitary confinement so they lose their mind, start eating their shit, start pounding their head against the fucking wall in order to elicit some kind of confession because you're worried that your case, in terms of the evidence you have, is not strong enough. And I don't give a shit that he could be on a tablet calling his wife, not being able to lay eyes on her and have her be in front of him, whether it's behind plexiglass or not, and have her, because I'm assuming because he wasn't a convicted felon that she would have been able to sit with him in a room without a piece of glass in front of him, because the guy is a pretrial detainee, not a convicted fucking felon. You can't have him in prison under the same rules that you have for the convicted felon. Like every time I would hear them say, "Oh, well, we made more accommodations for Richard." Well, you're supposed to. He's a fucking pretrial detainee. He's sitting in there, an innocent man, you jag off. The rest of those people in that prison are all convicted murderers and rapists. And this guy is not that. And you're treating him as though he is. It's like that. The whole incarceration side of that. Anyone that looks at that objectively and is like, I'm good with it, they can fuck right off. Like that. This is not how we can run shit in this country.
They could fuck right off. You fucking jag off. They can go eat horse and elephant and gorilla nuts, for all I'm concerned, right? And it break my heart. It break my heart when I hear the beautiful Andrea Burkhart say this.
He was taken to a Department of Corrections prison. He was taken to a maximum security prison. He was taken to the maximum security wing of the maximum security prison, and he was held in isolation, having not been convicted of any crime, for 13 months by himself in a cell. And so we spent the afternoon learning about what that did to Rick Allen and what that was like. And I have represented thousands of criminal defendants. And I can count on one hand the number of monsters in human skin that I've encountered among criminals, some of them serious, violent criminals. I saw more monsters in that courtroom today than I ever saw in an orange jumpsuit. And they had badges.
Oh, that shit breaks my fucking heart. Like, this is one of the most sincere people I've seen on her covering this, right? It was more criminals than badges, y'all. Like, I want y'all to understand how he got, y'all know that, but they broke this man. Look at this guy say how the prisons are.
I was asked by the Human Rights Watch to tour Westville Supermax prison. We went and we looked, and we were horrified by what we saw. The cells were extremely austere. There is no real window. There's a deafening silence in the cell. In the United Nations standards, more than 15 days of solitary confinement is a human rights abuse or torture.
Richard Allen was in there for 12, almost 13 months in solitary confinement.
Some people break down in a day, some people in a few weeks. Most people within a month or two are going to have very serious mental problems. 13 months is an extraordinarily long time in solitary confinement.
You hear about Mata bumping his head against the wall, eating his own shit. You heard Nick Starro earlier saying it's torture having the fucking lights on you 24/7. Right? He was tortured by the fucking state. Like Classic said. Right? Then they talked about they was gonna do something to his wife. And I'm sorry, y'all, but we got to free Richard Allen. And we have to show and play some stuff that's uncomfortable. But listen to this call, and I'm so sorry. And look how they did him.
I need to know if you still love me, baby.
Yes, dear.
Okay. And everybody else will as well? Honey?
Yes.
Because I may have to spend the rest of my life here, or...
Stop talking about it, please. That's not true. Okay? Okay?
I don't understand. I just got to know that everybody's still going to love me.
I love you.
Because I may only be able to see you one last time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It's not true.
It's true, honey.
No, it's not.
It's true, honey.
No, it's not. You're not well.
I'm well.
No. No, you're not.
Yes, I am, honey. I just hope that you'll still love me, because I may only, if I get the electric chair, or if I get the death penalty.
No. No, honey, that's not going to happen. No.
If it does, will you be there for me?
It's not going to happen, dear.
See what?
Nothing. This isn't right. They messed you up so bad.
It's okay, honey. I did it. I did it, dear.
Stop.
I cannot stop. I've got somebody here listening to me right now, dear.
No. I did it.
I don't.
Oh, you did it, dear. No way.
I killed Ashley, dear.
No, you didn't. Stop. Stop saying that. No, you didn't.
I knew I was supposed to let you go. I was trying to let you go.
Stop. Dear, we're going to be back together.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I hope you're always going to love me. No matter what. me, baby?
Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? You need to stop talking. If there's no nothing borders out there, you need to stop talking. Who's with you, honey? Who's with you?
Thank you for using GT.
Like classics say, Waller told him if he wanted his belongings back, she needed more consistency. That hurt, but I have to say this. He said, I only may see you one more time. Remember that? Remember that? I remember he wasn't able to talk to his wife. You heard him talking in code. You heard. What else he said? He said, I'm trying to let you go. You be all right. You take care of my baby. That's what he said. I'm going to take this bullet for us. Because guess what they doing to me? This what they doing right here. This what they doing right here. This what they doing. Forced drugs. Fake confection. Remember that? Shout out to my guy Zach in the building. No criminal history. I can't. There's somebody right here. I got to say somebody right here standing next to me. Y'all remember that? If this ain't the biggest cohort in history, what the fuck is we doing? Look at him. Look how he look. Look what they doing to him. There was a man saying, still love me. I'm going to take this bullet, but I want you and my baby you go raise my baby. That's what he's saying. Man, fuck the Delphi Holies. Fuck that bitch ass dude and all the motherfuckers down there. And fuck all you pieces of shit who is co-signing what the fuck they did. Y'all could go suck a donkey's dick for all I give a fuck about. The first time Kathy saw him, he was black and blue. And I go back to my point, y'all. Boy, this bitch ass motherfucker right here. PC horse shit. Tried to keep Turco a secret. But the interview, they found the tapes. Oh, really? Let's take a listen. This is Officer Horseshit talking to Turco, and Turco gonna explain to him. And he tried to hide this from Baldwin. Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, Jeff, this is, I'm Jerry Holman with the Indiana State Police. With me is Lieutenant Matt Rosenberger with Purdue and Professor Jeffrey Turco. It is Tuesday. All right, Jeff, this is, I'm Jerry Holman with the Indiana State Police. With me is Lieutenant Matt Rosenberger with Purdue and Professor Jeffrey Turco. It is Tuesday, September 19th, approximately 3:09. And I appreciate you meeting with us. I know Matt's been trying now for, 3 or 4 weeks to find a time, but I'm busy, you're busy, we're all busy, but I appreciate it. It should only take maybe 10, 15 minutes. Do you recall meeting with a state trooper probably back in 2017 and an FBI agent talking about the Delphi double homicide? That's right. And do you recall doing a report, or was that report that we have from your colleague?
There was a document. No, I did, to my knowledge, I'm the only person who put anything together for them. And there was a document.
This being, you can look at it.
That looks... Yes. Yeah.
And do you remember did you give that to them that day, or did you email it to them later?
I think I emailed it, or maybe I had a paper copy, I don't recall. Yeah, this is mine.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And they gave you, they didn't show you crime scene photos, but they basically gave you like a sketch of the formation of the sticks.
That's right.
And then did they give you a picture of the tree that had the F on it?
No.
Okay, just the sticks.
Just that kind of rendering there, yeah.
Okay. And it's been, 6 years probably since you wrote this. And don't let me put words in your mouth if you want to look at this. But from what I gathered, and I talked to Steve Buckley was the trooper, and Nicole Robertson was the FBI agent.
That's right.
Okay. And when I talked to them, Steve Buckley said, "Oh no, I didn't get a report." So I'm thinking later on we got a hold of Nicole and she got the report somehow from him. So
I'd have to go back and check my email.
Not a big deal, but he said basically you told him that when you looked at it, it basically could be anything, and I think you kind of put this in your report. You're like guessing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it certainly appears to be some sort of attempt at a kind of runic script. But as to deciphering, any meaning behind that with any certainty, that's a bit of a guessing game. I would have to go back and read what I wrote, but I recall tossing out a couple of sort of hypotheticals, maybe this, maybe that. But I think the idea that somebody is trying to kind of replicate a kind of early Germanic runic script, that seems, I think, a given. But,
yeah. And so what exactly do you study or teach?
So this song will make it look that way. I'm telling you right now what I'm coming to my conclusion is, or somebody who they know did this, whether it was the Brad or the other fuck boy who was with him or something. Because this is just so obvious. It's so obvious to a fucking jury when you have that fucking penguin face ghost shit handicap the defense. Let's continue. You hear this interrogation? He's trying that, cuz say, shut your bitch ass up in real life. I'll go back and check my files. Like, this is a fucking professor, stupid. You don't think he jot down everything, dickhead?
Yeah. And so what exactly do you study or teach?
Right. So I teach German literature and religious studies, and one of my areas concerns medieval Scandinavian religion. So I'm certainly not an expert on contemporary 20th and 21st century sort of reimaginings and reinterpretations of that tradition. I know a little bit just because of just general interest, and then also I did some homework when I met with the other officers. But
did you reach out to a colleague? It says in here a colleague and I.
There was a colleague who I'm not an expert on runes, runic inscriptions per se, which is a very very specialized area. And I have a colleague, now retired, at Harvard, who I showed, without any real details or explanations, showed the stick outlines, and we tossed ideas back and forth, and what he had to say kind of wound up subsumed in my report.
Was he actually in Germany at the time that you reached out to him? Do you recall?
No. Well, geez, I don't know offhand.
That's what I was told, but they may not.
He may have been traveling at the time. Yeah.
So what I'm.
Oh, that's what you was talking. Shut your bitch ass up. You was told to go eat alligator nuts, you piece of shit. He was telling your dumb ass. He don't know about this fucking illustration that your bitch ass trying to put forward because your bitch ass was trying to keep shit under wraps. Bitch, we listening to you, Officer Horseshit. Your bitch ass ain't even asking the questions to try to seek the information to see what's going on. Your bitch ass is like interrogating Turco like he's a fucking person you need to interrogate, and he trying to get your dumb ass game. Let's continue.
So what I'm learning about runes and the Odin background, it is a religion, correct?
So basically, what you're looking at is a kind of contemporary, medievally inspired movement that doesn't necessarily have all that much to do, right, with medieval and ancient traditions, but takes its sort of point of departure, sort of these mythological sources that come down to us in the 13th century. And in point of fact, there's not, and this is maybe getting a little bit too much into the weeds, but there's not a great deal that we can say with certainty about actually existing Norse religion. We're always dealing with our earliest sources are already Christian writers, or seeing things through that lens. But what you have in the very late 18th century, and then really throughout the 19th century, and this is sort of in the wake of nationalist movements throughout Europe, right, where there is no such thing as Germany, right, until 1872. There is no such thing as Italy. You have these sort of loose confederations, and so they go looking back for great sort of ancestor traditions on which to kind of found this idea, right, of the nation, right? And so this is sort of part of what comes to be known as Germanic mythology. You probably know the Brothers Grimm, the fairy tales. They also collected a lot of the earliest sources and edited these texts that were written in Icelandic, which is what most of what comes down to us is written in Iceland. So there's a great deal of interest in this tradition, but this kind of neo-heathenism or neo-paganism, of which Odinism would be sort of one kind of extreme ideology within that has sort of right-wing racist connotations. That sort of really comes into its own in the late 19th, 20th century, and there are sort of so-called neo-pagans, and neo-heathens. The heathen term tends to be more associated with the right, pagan more with the left, but essentially they both are referring to this sort of revival of Norse religion, which again often has precious little to do with the original sources. Right. People just kind of making things up because this stuff is up for grabs, right? But that is to say that the fact that somebody is referring to themselves, as an adherent of, what's sometimes called in Icelandic, it's Asatru, Asatru. This just means belief in the gods. And
what I've learned is Odinism is the
Yes, Kira, I'll play this again for you. But basically, man, this is so crazy. And I appreciate everybody, especially Classic, who been putting me on game. This basically, Purdue telling them this is posers. They're fake, you stupid bitch. This is somebody who's trying to recreate something that's not even there. You dumb whore. Let's play this over again for Skin.
So what I'm learning about runes and the Odin background, it is a religion, correct?
So basically, what you're looking at is a kind of contemporary, medievally inspired movement that doesn't necessarily have all that much to do, right, with medieval and ancient traditions, but takes its sort of point of departure, sort of these mythological sources that come down to us in the 13th century. And in point of fact, there's not, and this is maybe getting a little bit too much into the weeds, but there's not a great deal that we can say with certainty about actually existing Norse religion. We're always dealing with our earliest sources are already Christian writers, or seeing things through that lens. But what you have in the very late 18th century, and then really throughout the 19th century, and this is sort of in the wake of nationalist movements, throughout Europe, right, where there is no such thing as Germany, right, until 1872. There is no such thing as Italy. You have these sort of loose confederations, and so they go looking back for great sort of ancestor traditions on which to kind of found this idea, right, of the nation, right, and so this.
He said, give me 1 second, so who the fuck I got 2 of me up there? He said, Holman's first statement in this interview proves that they were in fact lying about losing Turco info and not knowing who he was. Let me hear that again. But before we do that, I think we'll keep going, but I'm gonna believe you on that. Shout out to Classic, right? Y'all want to see something real quick? Y'all want to see how Westerville, what Classic, you is the absolute truth, and I appreciate you with everything in me. Y'all want to see this shit? Y'all want to see what Richard Allen have to do? Y'all want to see this? Boy, this bad. Y'all want to see the showers? I sure hate to show y'all this, but I got to. I want y'all to understand what they doing. Watch this.
Shower, look at this shit. Got water leaking from upstairs. Look at this shit. This is how we living in fucking Westville. WCC. $1 million company. They say $1 million company. Look at all that mold. But they don't do shit for it. Look, the other pipe's already busted. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta take showers in this motherfucker. That's how it runs up in WCC. Look at this shit. Nasty as fuck. They don't give us nothing to clean this shit with. Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at all this shit. Nasty as hell. All that. Every one of them. This is how we live in WCC. Leaking from the roof.
Shout out to Redacted doing Redacted. Appreciate that, Redacted doing Redacted. That's pre-trial. Richard Allen in them conditions before the case. That's pre-trial. Do y'all see how serious this is? This is what they did to him before pre-trial. Remember Bob Marley said this. We're going to go to this because this is the truth. Remember this. Listen.
You can't start throwing people that are innocent until proven guilty who are pretrial detainees into a fucking prison for 13 months and have them held in solitary confinement so they lose their mind, start eating their shit, start pounding their head against the fucking wall in order to elicit some kind of confession because you're worried that your case, in terms of the evidence you have, is not strong enough. And I don't give a shit that he could be on a tablet calling his wife, not being able to lay eyes on her and have her be in front of him, whether it's behind plexiglass or not, and have her, because I'm assuming because he wasn't a convicted felon that she would have been able to sit with him in a room without a piece of glass in front of him because the guy is a pretrial detainee, not a convicted fucking felon. You can't have him in prison under the same rules that you have for the convicted felon. Like every time I would hear them say, oh, well, we made more accommodations for Richard. Well, you're supposed to. He's a fucking pretrial detainee. He's sitting in there, an innocent man, you jag off. The rest of those people in that prison are all convicted murderers and rapists. And this guy is not that. You're treating him as though he is. It's like that, the whole incarceration side of that. Anyone that looks at that objectively and is like, I'm good with it, they can fuck right off. Like that. This is not how we can run shit in this country.
Pre-trial, and this is where he at. Not convicted. He in there with people who convicted, and this what he going through right here. This what he at in the shower. Look.
Shower, look at this shit. Got water leaking from upstairs. Look at this shit. This is how we living in fucking Westville. WCC. $1 million company. $1 million-dollar company. They spend you millions of dollars helping them quit all that mold. But they don't do shit for it. Look, the other pipe's already busted. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta take showers in this motherfucker. And that's how it runs up in WCC. Look at this shit. Nasty as fuck. They don't give us nothing to clean this shit with. Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at all this shit. Nasty as hell. All that. Every one of them. This is how we live in WCC. Leaking from the roof.
Look at that shit. And like Donovan said, solitary confinement is defined as isolated individual from human contact for 22 hours or more a day. The United Nations prolonged confinement exceeding 15 days consecutive days is a psychological torture. Shout out to the beautiful Sue. She said, "Hi everyone, how rate this?" She said, "This case pisses me the fuck off. Free Richard Allen, yeah, free Ricky, man." And like Akasha said, this is not the same. You know, this is crazy work. All because of this piece of shit. Skin Row said, "I heard that class of this Sherlin was, oh, Lord Jesus." Let's continue.
A certain perspective would come across, likely.
Right.
Yeah.
But realistically, history says that this type of
it's not documented.
It's not documented. That there are rituals. They're not usually practicing ritualistic sacrifices of humans.
No, it's not any part of any sort of mainstream
chickens.
Animals. The usual. Goats and. Things
and what I was told by someone that had some knowledge is a sacrifice to them would be time, money. Yeah. For example, like they compared it to Christianity. Yeah. You take time out of your Sunday to go to church, and then you give money to the church. Yeah. And that they would do that in a different way, where you would give your chicken that lays eggs away, because now you're sacrificing your eggs or something like that.
Our knowledge of actual ritual practices, within actually existing historical Norse religion is very, very thin. Because the sources that come down to us are written by Christians 250 years after conversion, and there's a distance from sort of the lived daily experience, of religious adherence, or they just don't know, because the knowledge was stamped out. So what you're often dealing with are sort of people's ideas in the 19th century of what things must have been like, but often it's and a lot of that gets codified and gets accepted sort of uncritically, and then killjoys like me come around and say, yeah, no, actually, we don't really have any good sources for that. But again, in the popular imagination, I think there is this idea, right, that, and there is some textual support, right, that somebody who was kind of reading up, on Norse stuff would come across that idea, Odin sacrificing warriors, right, to himself and whatnot. That's in there. But is that just sort of literature, or is that, what really was that how things really were? These are kind of, academic questions.
Right, and
academic, fairy tale, no sources. This dumb stupid son of a bitch want to talk about chickens. Go suck a chicken nutsack, right? This stupid ignorant motherfucker want to talk about chickens. You said right on your post for today's video, I included a few videos. Let me go look on there redacted. Right. Motherfucker talking about that motherfucker. You talking about some chickens, you bitch ass motherfucker. Some chickens, huh? Chickens? This motherfucker want to talk about chickens. He want to talk about chickens. He want to talk about chickens. He want to talk about chickens. Oh my God. What's your name on there? Let's start with a W. This motherfucker gonna talk about chickens. Chickens. This motherfucker say chickens. This motherfucker said a chicken. A fucking chicken? A chicken? And that ain't no laughing like, that's a laugh and disgust. This bitch said a chicken. And this professor who is way smarter than this fucking nitwit. Yeah, for sure. Said chicken when the professor telling you, bitch, this is a fairy tale. There ain't no sources on this. This is pretend. This is fucking wannabes. But what they do? What they do? What they do, y'all? What they do? They want to keep that up, right? Yeah, he's a chicken shit, right? They want to keep that up. They want to keep that up, y'all. They want to keep that story going. Officer Ding Dong and the Buttocks want to keep it going, right? He wanted to keep it going, right? Because that's the story they was trying to run with when they was letting them know it was fairy tales. Classic, let me know who was trying to be fairy tales. It was Brad. It was the other motherfucker. The Facebook Brad putting up all this shit on Facebook, showing these motherfuckers. And like I tell them, this is a town of something. So this small town, everybody know each other. This reminded me of cancer and fucking corruption. All the motherfuckers knew each other, right? So Officer Ding Dong in the ass didn't want to believe that this was fairy tale. He didn't want to believe that this was made up. He didn't want to believe this was somebody that was trying to be a wannabe, right? Well, what the fuck is this? Rebecca said the older one and the one, oh, she's talking about her. What the fuck is this, yeah? This motherfucker want to talk about a fucking chicken. Oh, what the fuck you heard? Well, bitch, if you know, what the fuck is, and this bitch acting like he trying to know more than the fucking producer. Oh, I heard it was this. Heard and shut the fuck up. What the fuck you bringing in there, Frank? That's the stupidest shit. This shit right here, boy. I can't believe this shit. Let's continue.
That could be, yeah. That's certainly a good point. It's hard to sort of imagine sort of getting into the head of somebody like this, you know.
Something like this that we asked you to review, obviously 6 years ago, was so vague.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good term, but there
was not a lot of detail.
You couldn't really tell. Now you said if something along the lines, again, don't let me put words in your mouth, but if it is this, it could possibly mean this, but it's really hard to tell because it's...
In terms of deciphering sort of what characters are being used, if they are runic characters, runic is just an alphabet, right? It's just an alphabet. It's not a language. It's a pre-Germanic, indigenous Germanic alphabet. It's used throughout Scandinavia. It's used in England. In the Middle Ages, there are it's used to record a number of languages, sort of Old Norse, Icelandic. There are Christian Latin poems, very few recorded in runic script. So it's just an alphabet, the same way that we use the Roman alphabet to write English, but also to write Turkish and Romanian and whatnot. So the letters, the characters are, it's sort of, again, one of the ideas about them is that they originally have magical significance, that they would have been used in incantations, in rituals. There is a sacrificial connection in the mythological poetry. These are things that, again, somebody who was sort of, an Odin fanboy would likely come across. So it's entirely plausible that, looking at, those configurations, again, I didn't see the photos, but just looking at, the outlines that somebody else thought was part of of an attempt to render something in characters. Yeah, it looks pretty clearly like runic, and so one can certainly imagine that this was somebody's idea. That when you do a human sacrifice, you carve runes. There are some poetic sources that would sort of again support that idea that somebody might have come across. So that scenario seems entirely plausible to me. Right. But I think I don't remember what I said about the characters, but I think that was.
I think what
about
again. Don't let me put words in your mouth. But what was relayed to me was
runic, mythological, right? Fanboys. He telling the dumb son of a bitch. And he telling him what was relayed to him. Runic. He told this son of a bitch that. And he telling him what was relayed to him. Oh, I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this shit. This professor is smart as fuck, right? Because everything that Joshua was saying, the professor is saying. And instead of this cocksucker doing his due diligence to get it right, he tried to sweep it up under the table. Right? Yo, listen. He tried to sweep it up under the table, y'all. And like everybody said earlier, man, God bless Andy. God bless Andy. Right? Because what I'm seeing so far, Brad and the other dude, and I'm looking at them just, fucking officer horseshit. Brad and the other dude, it's something with them because horseshit was leading it, right? He knew of the mistakes, right? And I'm saying Doug Carter too. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know why I'm saying Doug Carter? Because I'm pretty sure that motherfucker had something on him too. It ain't no doubt in my mind that he had something on Doug Carter. It ain't no doubt in my mind that he had something on Doug Carter. It's to me, it's adding up like that, right? Because I want you to think about something. Why Didn't it change up, right? Why did he keep that away? Think about that. Because when he found out about that, it should have been something else, right? Man, this is mind-boggling. Y'all, I'm shocked. This is fucking me up. Yeah, oh no, and I'm getting this video now. Man, I am. And like Strange say, Abby and Libby deserve justice. And this ain't it. Oh, y'all. Let's go to the next one.
I think, that was...
I think what...
About...
Again, don't let me put words in my mouth, but what was relayed to me was it could be anything because it was not very deliberately put, or it could be, like you said today, it could have just been an amateur trying to do it.
Yeah.
But what Sergeant Buckley and Nicole had relayed to us was it's tough to say because it was not very clear. Mm-hmm. So they were telling us that it was basically, it could be anything, but you didn't at that point think it was anything, I guess.
No one specific thing.
Right.
I mean, I think I recall throwing out a number of ideas, none of which were terribly, conclusive, because the interpretation of runes is also rarely conclusive.
Right.
The meaning can be obscure. Is somebody trying to spell something phonetically, or are they trying to communicate something symbolically? Right? Because the runes have names, and they mean different things. Right. So one of the runes means giant. Right. So there's a giant rune. There's another rune can mean property. Right. Movable property. Cows, animals, things like that. So you can approach it from kind of at least two different angles. Right. One would be phonetically. Is it a word? Is it an acronym? Or is it some kind of does this person know what they're talking about?
Right.
Or is it just, hey, this looks cool?
Right.
Like, I can't stand hearing this bitch ass dude voice talking about what I was told. What you was told is use a penis sucker. That's what you was told. That's what you was told. I feel like I really need to know what is happening now. Yeah, this shit right here. Like, he talking about what I was told. Hey, penis sucker, what the fuck you mean by that? What you was told, bitch, didn't you call this dude, what it sound like you interrogating him, you trying to, you like Attorney Baldwin said, Andy said, that he was leading him. He was leading him. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Let's go to the next one.
With your experience, you could not look at these runes and say that is a spiritual sacrifice, ritual, plausible, but you can't say for sure yes or no.
No, I'm not a runologist, and even the fellow that I talked to is, much more knowledgeable about runes than I am, is published, on runes, is not, before his retirement, was not sort of a full-time runologist. If you'd like me to put you in touch with somebody.
What did he say? Do you remember?
Whatever he said made it into my report. I think we kind of came to an agreement about sort of what it could be and what it couldn't be. And
I know you use the word guessing. We're guessing.
Yeah. It's kind of educated.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a random assortment of sticks.
Right.
By no means. That seems very unlikely.
Okay.
But there are people who are runologists full time.
If you could give me that, I'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, this would probably be somebody in Europe, like Norway or something like that.
I'm not a fly over there.
Okay.
Or sacrifice.
Okay, sure.
No, but if we could at least get an email or something.
Sure.
I'd love to reach out to him.
I'll see you. There's one guy who comes to mind in Norway who I think is maybe the best. I'll go home and do some homework.
Yeah, just you have his contact information.
Yes.
And I think I have yours. I'm quite certain because during my deposition I brought you up. It took me a while to figure out. Buckley couldn't remember your name.
Oh, okay.
Nicole couldn't remember your name, and then we got the report, and then we figured out by calling Matt who might teach this or have knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn this report over and your information over and
Feel free,
discovery.
Sure.
And that means that the defense attorneys will probably contact you as well. So
okay.
Just
so there's obviously, it sounds like there's movement in this
trial. Yeah, the trial's actually scheduled for January of next year, but I don't.
So there's an accused.
Yeah, we made an arrest back in November, I think.
Is that public?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been public.
Oh, wow.
You must not watch the news much, huh?
I didn't catch it. Yeah.
Good. You gonna be on the jury? Most people know that.
I guess could I be at this point?
Probably
I think
not.
I'm probably
Not.
disqualified.
You're going to be a witness, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you think of anything else, please let Matt or I know. And
the only thing else I can think of is I'm supposed to say hello.
Talking about the guy in Norway. Right? And like I say, I don't know if it was Joshua who they was talking about. But he told him about the guy in the Norway who do that realistic stuff full time. He asked for his number. But what did the bitch say? I'm not gonna fly over there. Bitch, ain't you trying to get the right answers? Oh, wait. How dumbfounded. I want to know this. How dumbfounded do you feel right now hearing this dude say, laugh, I'm not going to fly over there? Like he got cum all in his neck and his throat and shit. I'm not going to fly over there. What? The fuck did you just... I'm not going to fly over there. You just heard a cum in his throat just gurgling. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. And he doesn't want the truth. This son of a bitch said, why over there? You just heard her just come, just all in his neck and his throat. The fuck you mean? You ain't, huh? Oh. Oh, what the fuck? Hold up. Let me play that shit again. The fuck you say? You piece of shit. The fuck did you... Was it this one?
I think, that was...
I think what... About, again, don't let me put words in my mouth, but what was relayed to me was it could be anything because it was not very deliberately put, or it could be, like you said today, it could have just been an amateur trying to do it.
Yeah.
What Sergeant Buckley and Nicole had relayed to us was it's tough to say because it was not very clear. Mm-hmm. So they were telling us that it was basically, it could be anything, but you didn't at that point think it was anything, I guess.
No one specific thing.
Right.
I mean, I think I recall throwing out a number of ideas, none of which were terribly, conclusive, because the interpretation of runes is also rarely conclusive.
Right.
The meaning can be obscure. Is somebody trying to spell something phonetically, or are they trying to communicate something symbolically? Right? Because the runes have names, and they mean different things. Right. So one of the runes means giant. Right. So there's a giant rune. There's another rune can mean property. Right. Movable property.
Wrong one, but what I did get out of this was listening. He told him it was an amateur. It was an amateur. Here goes the one though.
With your experience, you could not look at these runes and say that is a spiritual sacrifice, ritual, plausible, but you can't say for sure yes or no.
No, I'm not a runologist, and even the fellow that I talked to is, much more knowledgeable about runes than I am. Is published, on runes. Is not before his retirement was not sort of a full-time runologist. If you'd like me to put you in touch with somebody,
what did he say? Do you remember?
Whatever he said made it into my report. I think we kind of came to an agreement about sort of what it could be and what it couldn't be. And
I know you use the word guessing. We're guessing.
Yeah, it's kind of educated.
Educated guess.
I mean, it's not a random assortment of sticks.
Right.
Binary. That seems very unlikely. Okay. But there are people who are runologists full time.
If you could give me that, I'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, this would probably be somebody in Europe, like Norway or something like that.
Not fly over there.
Okay.
Or sacrifice.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
No, but if we could at least get an email or something.
Sure.
I'd love to reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll see you. There's one guy who comes to mind in Norway who I think is maybe the best. I'll go home and do some homework.
Just you have his contact information.
Yes.
And I think I have yours. I'm quite certain because during my deposition I brought you up. It took me a while to figure out. Buckley couldn't remember your name.
Oh, okay.
Nicole couldn't remember your name, and then we got the report, and then we figured out by calling Matt who might teach this or have knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn this report over and your information over and feel discovery.
Sure.
And that means that the defense attorneys will probably contact you as well. So
okay. So there's obviously, it sounds like there's movement in this
trial. Yeah, the trial is actually scheduled for January of next year, but I don't.
So there's an accused.
Yeah, we made an arrest back in November, I think.
Is that public?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been public.
Oh, wow.
You must not watch the news much, huh?
I didn't catch it. Yeah.
Good. You can be on the jury. Most people know about it.
I guess could I be at this point? I think I'm probably
not.
disqualified.
You're going to be a witness, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
If you think of anything else, please let Matt or I know. And
the only thing else I can think of is I'm supposed to say hello.
Fire over there. Fly over there. So he got cum all in his neck. And I got a lot of stuff too, y'all, like the classic and redacted sent me, right? I'm going to have a lot of this stuff because we finna go through it. Because I do these long shows, and let me get to this last one. Let me listen to this last one on her.
The only thing else I can think of is I'm supposed to say hello.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you know her?
Well, she works downstairs and is one of my favorite people on the planet.
She's a sweetheart.
And she asked me what I was doing, and I mentioned that I was meeting with you.
That was a surprise to her.
And I don't think anything really phases her.
Really?
And she said, that's my second cousin.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to conclude this interview. It is approximately 3:30.
How do you know her? You fucking her or something? How do you know her? Are you fucking her? The fuck you worried about how he know her? Are you sticking something in her? Is she getting on you and saying, if you're on it, let's do it. Hold up, riding on my... Is she doing that to you? Are you fucking her, sir? You stupid son of a bitch. What the fuck you worried about? Why the fuck you know her? Dickhead. Oh my God. Hey, they said, if you're on it, let's do it. Come on, riding on my pony, on my saddles. Hold up. Oh man, this nasty work. This nasty work. Let me see what this one is. I don't want to see. Let me see what this one is right here.
Have they been able to high res this picture and get a better image of the face and all than what we have here?
This is as good as it gets. When I say that they've said, the FBI said, we've had a lot of people working, NASA, Disney, you name it, we worked on it, we've tried. This is the best we can do because everybody assumes that we can.
Okay, and I guess based on this and on witnesses, they came up with a sketch.
That is correct.
And this is the sketch.
Remember, they thought it was two people, and they released sketches of two people, and they asked the entire nation to identify those two people, neither of whom was the eventual defendant.
Defense attorney John Tompkins, who has followed the case closely, believes challenging the judge's decision to not allow any of that evidence will be the strongest argument for Allen's appellate attorneys.
The jury needs to understand this was not a single perpetrator theory, and this guy was not the first guy that you wanted to arrest.
There was so much physical evidence at the crime, and the crime had been found so immediately after it had been committed, that it's the sort of thing that experienced law enforcement officers, experienced investigators all believe, well, this is going to be solved really quickly. And normally it would be. It's shocking to me that it hasn't been solved today.
It's from the evidence at the scene.
Yes. The circumstances of the crime, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where the crime scene is, there's a house up on a hill that can actually look down. The backyard can look down and see that house, or the crime scene, I should say. Well, I guess I fear at this point that the most likely thing is, and this is a terrible thing to hope for, is that some other crime would be solved, and the person, as has sometimes happened in the past, the person would say, oh, I committed this crime in Delphi also.
And there are 2 or 3 signatures left by the killer at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you agree in part with that?
Mm-hmm. A crime scene will tell you a story. Just stand back and observe, watch, see what it's going to tell you. That's why evidence is important. Once you put all those pieces of evidence together like a huge puzzle, it can tell you that story. And so, yes, I agree with law prosecutor Ives said that there's things that existed there at that crime scene that when the day comes, put them all back together, and here's the story it's going to tell.
Talk about that specifically, but what I will say about it is it adds, again, a little bit of weight to a very complicated murder investigation. So I'd much rather have it than not, I think is how I'd respond to that.
The audio that you released, it says guys down the hill. Does guys and down the hill come right next to each other in the original recording?
Again, there's speculation about what that means, what was actually said, who said it, was it connected, was it the same voice? And again, that's an investigative component of this, and I'm not worthy to discuss it.
I've spoken to some people who were involved in the investigation early on, and they say that there's more. There's more video, there's more sound.
We do have a little more information than what the public does. Most of what they have told us, they've asked us not to share. And not a lot more. We got to hear a little more of the video than what they have out there.
Why not release more of that?
It's important that we don't show our hand, quite frankly. We're not going to explain what we know about the killer. We're not going to explain some of the intricate details of the death of Abby and Libby. Unfortunately, one day we're going to have to, and that's going to create a whole other issue with family and friends and the community and the like. So from an investigative standpoint, I'm not going to talk any more about it.
We know, we've been told there is DNA. We don't know how much or what kind or what they're able to do with it.
And that's the problem because they won't tell us that much information. What I do know is that the amount of law enforcement who was involved and is involved.
If they do have DNA, have you talked to the guy that's here that's doing DNA, the Othram lab?
I assure you that no matter how minute or minuscule, and I thank you for that contact, then they are doing everything they can, Kelsey, right?
Yeah, and I think they'll look at any possible thing they can do to solve it. I'm sure if that's who my grandma talked to, we'll give that name to them.
There's a lot of questions about DNA, and with that as well. What have you heard about any DNA or anything recovered from the actual scene?
I mean, I've heard that they have DNA. What they have and how much they have, I have no idea. I get asked all the time why CC Moore isn't trying to help. I don't know.
The detectives that have been assigned this, task forces have been assigned this, have talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people. And again, one day we'll be able to tell you why we did that and who did it.
All in all, every member of law enforcement has described this crime scene as complicated with a lot of evidence. I've referred to it as downright odd, and told Lesenby agreed with that when Barb McDonald asked him about that specific quote.
Eventually the world's going to know what we do.
Sometime between 2:07 when that last Snapchat post was put up, and by the time family members started showing up and everybody started showing up, there's a window in there between probably around 2:30 and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. This man had to be making his departure, and hopefully somebody think about that. Think about that time on February 13th, 2017, between 2:30 and 4 o'clock-ish. If you're anywhere in that vicinity, if you saw anything on foot, in a car, whatever, you want to know it, right?
The area where their bodies were found is very hard to reach, and the speculation is that this is a person that was very familiar with the terrain. Can you speak to that at all?
One thing I'd say is any place in the country that's rural, there's multiple points of access, generally speaking. So again, there's a lot of speculation as to why they might have been there, but I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Man, shut the fuck up. Man, shut the fuck up. That's how you ever said you don't want to talk about something right now. Boy, this is some bullshit. Oh, we got the information. Where the fuck is that, bitch? Man, but I love y'all to death, man, with everything in me. I really do. I got a lot more work to do. I got some stuff. I got to get ready for the show. I know my people across the pond. So by the time I'm gonna do a show in the morning, I'm gonna get on it, man. I ain't lying. So it's gonna be like, about 10, 11 with some y'all time at night. So Yeah. Oh, shout out to the beautiful Jordan Breezy. She's in the building. Oh, Jordan. You came in when we were about to go, but I love you so much, though, and I love everybody on here. But y'all know I love Pretty Cookie, too, so what we finna do is we finna play her song, and and then I see y'all soon. Love y'all to death.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent it lies. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pain's a prison, the glass cuts deep, eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tear 'em down, let the light pour through. But they hang like chains, stitched with sorrow's hue. Every fold whispers secrets I can't erase. Every thread pulls tighter, leaving no space.
I gotta get one more encore today, but I love all you people. I ain't trying to miss nobody. I'm trying to make sure I say it. Then we're gonna be out here. I love this song so much. Love y'all.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent is light. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs.
What's he say?
The pains of prison,
the glass,
eyes wide open,
yeah,
blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tear them down, let the light pour through. But they hang like chains, stitched with sorrow's hue. Every fold whispers secrets I can't erase. Every thread pulls tighter, leaving no space.
Oh my God, y'all. That song right there gives me life. The pains of prison, the glass cuts deep, eyes wide open, but I can't sleep. Hold up, pretty cocky. Man. Oh, man, I listen to this song multiple times, at least 20 times a day. No cap, but guess what? For to listen to it again while I got y'all, and I'm gonna sing.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window pane. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow.
Oh my
Its
God.
echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent is light.
Oh my
Sky
God.
holds no stars,
No.
just clouded skies.
Hold on, check me out, y'all.
The pains of prison, the glass cuts deep. Eyes wide open,
Eyes wide open,
blue curtains are hiding on my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tear 'em down, let the light pour through. But they hang like chains, stitched with song.
I'm not lying, y'all, boy. This song right here, listen. Boy, this is a song you can make love to. I'm talking about. Ooh. Oh my God. Man, I'm talking about they get it in type making love to for real. Whew. Man, this touches my soul. And this song right here, it helped me through a fucking lot. But when I tell you this is a love-making song where you could, boy, do some things. Oh my God. Do y'all feel me on that? Man. All right, y'all. I'm gonna play it one more time because I love it. And I ain't gonna sing. I'm just saying while the mic muted. And then I see y'all soon.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent it lies. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pains of prison, the glass cuts deep. Eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away.
beautiful people. I got one more thing to show y'all, right? One more thing to show y'all. Because one thing about me covering the sport of boxing, right? It be special moments that I always get out of when I go covering boxing. Whether, it be in the ring, outside the ring, me doing an interview, talking to somebody. And this right here is my highlight, right? I want to show y'all. I already put it on shorts and everything, and I put it on X. But I want to show y'all because this guy right here, his name is Miguel. He put off to go to the military to get his last fight in, right? Because he wanted to get his last fight in. He was like 27-5. He came up short, y'all. But he did this to, get that out the way so he can go serve our country. And check this out. And I had to just show my appreciation to him. This was my highlight of the weekend.
Hey, brother, I just want to say thank you for your services and everything you did, man. You waited and fought for this, and then you're going to go to the military. I look at the military as the epitome of the gold standard because I'm a country first dude. Thank you.
Yeah, that was my highlight, y'all. One more time, like this touched my soul, like during the whole week when he was talking conference, workouts, then the weigh-in.
Hey, brother, I just want to say thank you for your services and everything you did, man. You waited and fought for this, and then you're going to go to the military. I look at the military as the epitome of the gold standard because I'm a country first dude. Thank you.
Now, y'all got to understand one thing about me. Y'all can hear me be brash. Y'all can hear me. And thank you very much for that, Jordan. Y'all, I look, and man, it was great. Y'all can hear me be brash. Y'all can hear me, go super hard. Y'all can hear me be as genuine as they come. But y'all always hear me talking about our military, right? And how I say, just say thank you if you can, right? Thank them for their services. That means everything to them. If you see them out with a shirt on, say thank you. If you're able to pay for their food, do that, right? Because we won't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for our servicemen and women in the military. And when I say they are the gold standard, they are the epitome of what this country is about. Because you remember what I said about the GOAT and Turtle Boy, aka Aiden Kearney? They don't run from it, they run to it. They don't walk through the fire, they run through that shit, right? This ain't, listen, it was a lot of celeb, that ain't nothing new to see all these fighters, actors and stuff like that. That meant nothing to me compared to this moment right here for this guy, Miguel.
Hey, brother, I just want to say thank you for your services and everything you did, man. You waited and fought for this, and then you're going to go to the military. I look at the military as the epitome of the gold standard because I'm a country first dude. Thank you.
You supposed to come here, Jordan? But I hope you're feeling better though. I'm just glad you're feeling better. If you ain't feeling better, you don't need to go nowhere. You got to get that right first. But see, this right here. Like I had a great, fantastic. I'm talking about super fantastic, right? Cave Boxing was there. I'm trying to figure out who that was. What was do you know the fighter name? Because it's a bunch of fighters, or their nationality, because there was a bunch of fighters there. And if you could tell me who it was, I probably got video of them or something. But there was a lot of people there. But that moment right there, That moment right there, man. And I'm telling y'all, I'm a country first person. It ain't, yeah, you can say what you want to say. Yeah, I kiss their ass, and it ain't literally kissing their ass. I just respect what they do and give them the most honorable respect. I think they supposed to be the richest motherfuckers on this planet for what they do. They're supposed to be richer than every fucking body. Like I told y'all, I used to work in mortgage, doing real estate and all that stuff, right? And I say this and I say this loudly. Don't you know these motherfuckers put the veterans through so much to get it takes veterans sometimes 10, 15 years to get 100% disability to where they don't got to pay taxes. They shouldn't be able to pay fucking taxes, no way. I don't know. It's just it was so many people there. What is he? What nationality is he? Nah, and I mean that with everything in me. Thank you so much for that. I mean that with everything in me. I couldn't wait to have this. He came up short. But in reality, he's a winner. He's a big time winner, right? He's a big time winner, right? But in this game of boxing, you win some, you lose some, you live to fight another day. But he got a bigger fight than boxing that he finna go fight, right? Like everything we do is you know, and what we like to do and what we do is it's something always bigger than that, right? Shadow is black. Oh, Shadow is black. Is he short? And do he have like a full bird with some goals in his mouth? I'm just trying to see. I'm just thinking of some fighters. Shadow. Cause yeah, I'm just trying to think. Cause I promise you, I was there with a bunch of them. I was there with all of them. I'm gonna put that shit up too. Oh no. I'm gonna find that out. I promise y'all I am. But that was my highlight, y'all. That was my highlight. Out of everything, right? I could, yeah, send it to me. George, send it to me. I need to come up there to up there with you years and I let go to the boxing gym or something. I shall come, Yens, because you know we love you, Yens. I'm gonna show y'all something else real quick. I want to let y'all know, like, you know, that's why I was, you know, like, trying to tell all them buster ass motherfuckers who claiming, you know, like they somebody when they ain't shit, right? And shit kind of pissed me off, right? Because, you know, it's like you coming over here to do the right thing. You ain't trying to piss in people's face, but when motherfuckers start coming at you like that, crazy work, man. I was on the biggest boxing platform, y'all. Post-fight interview, I do this. So I want y'all to see this real quick. Let me put this up so I can block this shit so y'all won't see me in there. I want y'all to see this real quick. Watch this. Okay, I'm gonna finish it out on this right here. Like, I just be wanting y'all to know, like, that what I showed y'all was the highlight of my weekend, right? But this is me on the biggest boxing platform that's under the post-fight pressure, you know, doing what I do. Y'all check me out.
I never seen nobody make Shakur look that uncomfortable like that, where he jump in the ring and his emotions is like that. It's something about you that got him rattled up. You have a backstory to tell us what it is, because he is jacked.
He know what it is, man. He know what happened in those sparring sessions. It wasn't just one; it was several sparring sessions. And he know I'm not lying. I don't tell lies. I would tell y'all if it was a back and forth sparring session, it was one-sided. And he know that. That's why he always getting his feelings when everybody asks him about me, or, you know, when I'm calling his name. And when we fight, I'm gonna show the world that why. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show him.
I don't know what nothing is. I don't know what nothing is, bro. I don't know nothing is. Well, see me next. I'm recording. Okay, come on. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Bum ass. Hey, y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. Man, watch out, bro. Watch out. Don't disrespect me, bro. Don't disrespect me, nigga. Don't disrespect me, bro. Hey, I'm gonna come see you next. I told y'all I was gonna do your son. I told y'all I was gonna do your son. And I'm on that. I told y'all I was gonna do your son.
That's what I do. I'm so thankful that Jordan love boxing, because people who love boxing don't understand what I really do, right? You know, you have these bum-ass, pussy-ass niggas, I'm sorry, y'all, talk about, oh, you be in Houston, have you been to the burger place? But, oh, man, what the fuck you mean? Man, I'm in Houston, man, with Sauce Walker, man, Shakur Stevenson, Oshagi Foster, and the list goes on, Regis Program. We all chilling, fam. Because this is what I do. Love you, Classic. Love you to death. Man, because this is what I do. Motherfucker talking about you been to Trill Burger, these nuts, you bum lame ass motherfuckers. Oh yeah, it's what we do. But yeah, love y'all to death, man. I had a great, man, it was so great coming back. Thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. It was so great, because y'all know I've been locked into this, and I'm locked in. I want y'all to know that. It ain't just on no, I'm back in boxing too, but I'm locked in on this. That ain't stopping. Y'all gotta understand. This is my first event going to since September, no, July last year, or September, like 6 to 8 months, because I was focused, man. I was locked in, and I ain't give a fuck about nothing else. What's going on with the bullshit they trying to do against the GOAT, right? And I'm still on that type of time. Oh yeah, the other way. But now, if y'all interested, I got interviews lined up. You know, if y'all interested and want to see them with some of the boxers, from amateur to pros, you know, we got Turtles the Free. You goddamn right, and he gonna be free. I said that on the video the other night. See, that's the one thing I couldn't let pass. I had to stop what I was doing and make a video to let motherfuckers know about these hating ass motherfuckers. They gonna hate the GOAT because they ain't him. But remember how the first thing I said about the GOAT, I mean it. I said he built for tough. He built for this shit. He is the chosen. Right? He is the chosen. Right? And that's why we go hard for him like we do. and gonna continue to go. All right? Because he is the true reason for the season. And I mean it with every fucking ounce in me. I love y'all to death. See y'all soon.
I do. Y'all know how I do. I'm on that bullshit again.
Let me tell y'all a little story about me. In the boxing world, my name is Mr. IOTBA. The acronyms for IOTBA is
Your daily got thoughts like hold up. Mr. Undeniable, hold up. Mr. These boys can't touch me.
Daisy if you do. Bet I ain't got shit to prove. Boo does gold tooth, Lil Bruce, smile sharp enough to choose. Bang, bang, right through your cool. Walking like a rumor with a pulse. Lip curl sweeter than your cold. My eyes say try me and you freeze like salt. Got your huggle. You wanted that smoke, I'm the whole damn stack. Got your huggle. Step up, I'll clear the room. You're Daisy if you do. You're Daisy if you do.
R-U-L.
All aces in my hand, better back. Tongue sharp like a tag, hit a click, clack. You wanted that heat, now it's time to meet the sun. No shade, just black. Walk slow, silver in my lap. Halo, crooked heart attack. Say a piece, talk that trash. I turn every word to glass. Cut deep. Got your
oh shit, you should go down to that. I'm touching down from there too. 1, 4, and I'm on that bullshit again. I'm on that bullshit today, right? Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do.